Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to Two-Player Co-op Quick Hits episode. We're going to talk Suicide Squad. I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
How we doing? I'm Batman.
He's Batman. I'm doing good. So, let's just get right into it. None of the usual rigmarole. As
Witty banter.
Tim Geddes likes to say. No rigmarole. We just saw Suicide Squad. We literally just got back.
Cannot stress this enough.
Well,
obviously,
hold on.
Well, I'm just saying, full of spoilers.
We're gonna let's give our non-spoiler thoughts first.
Okay.
Just overall thoughts, and then we'll get into spoilers.
We'll tell you when to stop watching.
So overall, I thought it was fine.
See, you and I already disagree because I loved it.
Okay.
I
loved
maybe not
parts of it. I loved the characters a lot more than I loved the movie.
To me, this was more fun than Batman versus Superman. I think it was a better movie than Man of Steel.
Oh.
We're in for a good debate tonight.
Man.
I don't know. I loved it. I don't understand all the hate.
No, I think the critics' reviews are way off. When I say fine, I mean good. But I mean, I was hoping this was going to blow my mind. Oh, that's a play on words if you watch the movie. I thought it was going to blow my mind. It didn't blow my mind. I loved some of the characters, which I think we can talk about that without getting into spoilers before we get into the story beats and stuff. Let's go through the three main characters. I would say there was three. Joker. I loved it.
I wasn't really a fan.
This is going to be an interesting episode.
So I thought I would love him as a Joker, and for the most part, I did. It's just I absolutely love Heath Ledger.
I know, but
this is a total departure. Yep. This is like badass, like gangster version of
this
the
is
Joker.
Gangster Joker, which they have done in the comics, but we've never ever seen it.
To me, it just seems like
action.
The more he talked, the less I liked him. Like towards the end, I won't say anything, but when he's just kind of doing his thing, but he's not speaking, when he's just there or very limited words, I think it was perfect. But when I hear him talk sometimes, I'm just like, I don't know. I love Jared Leto, but...
Did you like the laugh?
It was a little forced. I don't know.
I liked it.
It was good. I mean, he did a good job at him.
Gosh. His mannerisms were awesome.
That's what I'm saying. I liked that. I think it was really just the speaking that I didn't like for some reason.
But you know what? You know what the reason probably was for that is that stupid grill. That's the only thing I still don't.
Yeah,
like
it always
about
seemed
him.
like he was.
I'm fine with the tattoos because he's had tattoos in the comics and stuff. He's had his whole back has been a dragon tattoo in one series of the comics. I'm fine with him. The damage thing is kind of I don't know what's the word for it.
The hand tattoos.
And then he didn't use this. He never put the arm in front of his face. He did it in promo art, but he never did in this. I really liked him. I was able to look past everything except that damn grill. Yeah, well, and going back to my thought, I did notice sometimes it almost sounded like he was speaking with a lisp because that grill is huge.
Yeah.
So, I really liked the Joker. Harley Quinn.
Loved it.
Nailed it.
She was perfect.
Nailed it.
Nailed Harley. I don't think this is a spoiler. With the flashbacks when you see Dr. Quinzel.
We've seen that in pictures. And
she nailed that too. I just thought she was perfect. And, well, I won't say that. We'll wait till the spoiler part.
I will say, when they casted Margot Robbie, I was like, she's perfect. She's blonde. She's a great actress. She looks like she could be Harley Quinn. When they did the first trailer and we didn't hear, "Hey, Mr. J," and we didn't hear that voice, Puddin', she still did her own spin on it, but it was kind of with a New York accent and stuff, which was fine. She doesn't always do the Mr. J. And she said Mr. J, but you know what I mean, the voice. I'm not going to try to do the voice, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You were
I was about to.
I'm not going to do it. Deadshot.
I love Deadshot. I didn't know a whole lot about him going into this.
I was so happy to like Will Smith again.
That's the thing.
Make Will Smith great again. He's great again. I loved him in this movie. He was absolutely just perfect as Deadshot.
I don't know what I feel like I had against Will Smith, but I was just like, oh, Will Smith is in the, and I didn't like it, and I don't know why.
I had two concerns, and maybe I'll give you answers you didn't know you were looking for. That was deep. That he would overshadow the movie. That he would overshadow everybody in it, and it would become a Deadshot movie.
No, I wasn't worried about that.
And the only other thing I worry about, a lot of the movies he's done, he's just been like more, I don't know if the phrase is self-indulgent or what, with
that's it.
The movie, really?
I mean, that's...
Like the movie with his kid, and then like the Concussion movie was it was just an Oscar bait movie, and it wasn't that good. And it's just like, he got back to like mid-90s Will Smith in this movie.
He basically became Agent J or K.
Or B.
Or,
I don't know what his name is.
Or what do you call it? Independence Day, whatever his name was in that. Like, he just became, not, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but he was just Will Smith. He was good Will Smith. He wasn't
old school Will
overacting. It was just, I don't know a whole lot about Deadshot, but by the end it was almost like, yeah, that's just Will Smith. That's not Deadshot, but yeah. I loved it.
I thought he did great. And Amanda Waller, to get in some, we'll go through some of the side characters. Captain Boomerang was great. A lot of people hate Jai Courtney, but he did a great thing in this. I don't think I've ever actually seen him act in a movie, but he's got a bad reputation.
What has he been in? I know the name, but I can't
He was
think
in
of...
the last Terminator movie, I think. He might have been in the last Die Hard. Maybe he was Bruce Willis'
Oh, he
kid.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could barely recognize him when he's Captain Boomerang and he's got the beard and stuff. I thought he was good. Yeah. Katana was just there. I almost did a little spoiler about Slipknot. We'll save that. We'll wrap this up real quick, and then we're going to get into spoilers, but we'll wave our hands and everything.
One other person. I really liked Diablo. And I didn't even know
that was Jay Hernandez.
I didn't either. Until the credits, I'm like, wait, Jay Hernandez. And I had to look it up, and it's exactly who I thought it was.
The guy from Hostel and I can't remember
Friday Night Lights.
Yes.
And, yeah, I didn't. Yep. The movie, not the show.
Yeah.
Never watched the show. But he was...
He was
good. He was very subdued. Well, mostly subdued.
He was a good actor.
But I had no idea that was him under all that.
No, they had to do a lot of makeup in this movie with tattoos. Shout out to the makeup artist in this movie, because that had to be, I don't know how they do. I'm sure they've just got stencils and everything, but the fact that you have to line that up every day, you know what I mean? Like every time you go to shoot, it has to be perfect. It can't be off at all, especially all Joker's tattoos.
Except, I will say, you pointed this out.
Oh my God.
What's going on with Rick Flagg's hair? So, Rick Flagg's hair.
His hair, spoiler alert.
He had long hair, and then he had short hair, and then it was long hair again.
And then when they're getting ready to all go out and do their Suicide Squad, and all of a sudden, he's got a buzz cut. And then at the end of the movie,
he's got long hair again.
A day later, his hair's slicked back again. What the hell was that?
I don't know. That was kind of weird. I didn't even notice. I mean, once you pointed it out, I'm like, oh, God, yeah. But I liked him a lot. I know you don't really watch it, but he's from the last season of House of Cards. I really like the guy. I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't really know a whole lot about the character, but I liked him in the movie.
Yeah. He's really just like he's in Suicide Squad.
And then Cara Delevingne. Cara Delevingne.
Yeah, she's Enchantress.
I thought she was all right. She's fine.
So,
that's it for...
We're going to turn on our spoiler hat right now.
Spoiler alert.
And hold on 1 second. All right, let's talk spoilers.
Yeah.
Again,
just stop watching. If you have not seen it,
if you have not seen this movie.
But please come back and watch after.
Yes. Lots of great content here on Two Player Co-op Gaming on YouTube. Okay. The story.
So I don't know anything about the... I mean, did they just do in the comics Suicide Squad once? Is that just like one story?
I don't know it in the comics. What I know it is the Assault on Arkham movie, which I wish they would have just done that live action. Batman captures Riddler. He gets sent to Arkham. Wanda Davis, or what's her name?
What?
Amanda Waller.
Waller.
Who the hell is Wanda Davis?
Well, her name is Viola Davis.
Oh, maybe that's what I was... And Amanda Waller. Jeez, that's what I was thinking. Okay. It's like our audio issue. she assembles the squad to break into Arkham because Riddler has... I guess I'm just going to spoil this movie for you, but you'll probably forget it but if you ever watch it. In his cane, he's got data that like contains all the information about the Suicide Squad, and he was going to make it public to bust her out. So they're sent into Arkham, and throughout their time, they come across the Joker, and Harley is just, she's fed up with him. She's not his pudding anymore and all this other stuff, but he gets out. Batman is in the whole movie. They originally just called it Assault on Arkham, and then they ended up, when they put it out, they said it's actually Batman Assault on Arkham. It was basically a Batman movie, and it was just so good. It all takes place inside Arkham. Crazy action. People are dying left and right. It's very violent, but it's a really good movie. This was just, like I said to you when we were walking out of the theater, I liked the characters a lot better than I liked the movie, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is not going to win an Oscar. I'm sure a lot of critics just hate it, whatever. I thought
we can say now, though, they don't just hate Zack Snyder. They actually hate DC.
I guess, but I thought it was a super fun movie. Like, I never saw... I mean, in theaters, I didn't go back to see Batman and Superman a second time.
Right.
I would see this a second time. I loved it.
I liked the humor. I was reading reports about how involved WB got and all the reshoots. It cost him like another $10 million when they went back and did those reshoots. And apparently they saw the first version of the movie, which is what David Ayer wanted to make. And
it was too dark or something.
It was just not as over the top fun and humorous. And
I mean, I don't think it was over the top.
I don't think it was
good.
Either. It was a good balance.
Yeah.
I did think the weird thing, there was a couple of times, I don't remember if it was before everything really went crazy or what. There was some of Harley's lines that fell flat to me. Some of her like one-liners, I was like,
well, the whole part, like, that's, of course, it was always in the trailers when she breaks the window and she's like, we're bad guys. That's what we do.
Right.
Not a peep. I mean, it's supposed to get you to laugh. There wasn't a peep in that theater, but everybody had seen that line. They're sick of it from the trailer, so I get that.
The best parts of the movie that were humorous to me, again, Will Smith. His comedic timing is great. Without, like, not slapstick or anything like that, or real funny jokes or anything like that. He's just, he knows how to deliver his lines and when to deliver them, and he does a great job at it. Again, he might have been my favorite part of the movie, and I thought it would for sure have been Joker or Harley, and it might have been Deadshot.
What I would have liked to have seen, even though it wasn't that big of a deal, but just from the humor side of things, was when Flag breaks his phone. He's like, all right, you guys are free to go. And Boomerang just up and left.
It's like, okay, dude.
I wish we didn't see him again in the movie after that. He should have just been gone.
Just make it
And then
stick.
he was just
Yeah.
back in the next shot. I was like, you should have stuck with it. But
Yeah.
that was good. But no, I thought it was definitely funny, but I don't think it took away from it. It wasn't,
No. And I think Jai Courtney had a lot of funny with the stupid, his Pinky the unicorn and stuff like that. Hey, shout out to Pinky, this guy. He was good. Slipknot. I told you before the movie, I was like, I know they're not going to put all these things in their necks to have them blow up and not blow somebody's head up. I was like, obviously it's going to be Slipknot. He's here just
right, they
so
show
he
him
can
on
die.
the screen. I'm like, who is that? And he's like, Slipknot. He makes knots.
And he like climbs. Okay.
They didn't introduce him. They're like, oh yeah, here's this guy.
We're gonna
he
blow his head
climbs and then yeah. So he didn't last long. But
Shout out to me. I did say I saw that coming, but
you did.
I
You
mean,
called it.
Everybody did. So the story. So going back to the animated Arkham movie, I just liked it much better as a story. This was just, the timing was so convenient, and you can probably say that about a lot of movies, but it's like, I need to ascend, because Superman was here and now he's dead, and there could be another Superman coming. You never know. He might be a bad guy. Bizarro, Injustice, something. What are we going to do then? We're going to hire these band of misfits. Okay, cool. I want to hire them. All right, let's make the team. Oh, shit. Now the whole city, Midway City, is going to just be destroyed. Good thing we assembled that team.
if we're nitpicking, I counted 3 helicopter crashes, and every
Not a
single one
single
of them,
person.
people died, but in every single crash, people also lived.
The crash with the squad in it, that thing hit the ground so
And
hard and rolled over
tumbled
10 to
and-
12 times, and they're like, okay.
And then Harley just gets out. That was fun.
That was fun. Right. I mean, I could understand maybe Deadshot's got all this armor on and stuff like that, and Harley's like, no, I'm good, whatever. What you think about Killer Croc? We didn't talk about him.
I don't.
He was fine.
He just seems like such a cheesy. I mean, not
Well,
just in the movie, but his character in general. Like, ooh, big crocodile. Like,
So
why not just put Man Bat in it or something? It just seems like such a.
in the animated movie, they did Sharkman or whatever his name is. I forget what his name is.
I will say I liked Killer Croc in the Arkham
games,
Arkham
yeah.
Asylum, and I don't know if he was in the other ones, but
I
I thought he was good.
he might have been in City, not as a boss fight like in Asylum. I don't remember.
But I liked him in that. But just in general, it's like, ooh, Killer Croc.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He was fine. I respect David Ayer. He's like, I'm not doing CGI for Killer Croc. I'm not going to do
Right,
it.
yeah.
And that's awesome makeup that they did with him. I know the guy who played him. I can't think of his name now, but you didn't even recognize him with all the scales and everything. It was great. And then I didn't like the bad guys. Enchantress was fine. Looking at the trailers, I was like, okay, Enchantress has magic. There's all this crazy stuff going on. She's going to be the bad guy, whatever. I didn't like the army was just you're
Very
building them
generic looking.
You're building them up like they're so like scary and they're a threat and all this, and then Harley Quinn's kicking their asses with a bat.
Right.
Like, I know Harley knows how to fight, but wow. That was dramatic. Boom, 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 boom. I know Harley knows how to fight and stuff, but these are supposed to be like these magical beings, and she's just beating the hell out of them with a bat. I could buy the katana. I could buy that, cutting them up, and I could buy Deadshot.
That was one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Best scene in
Just
the whole
Deadshot.
movie was him on top of the police car, just
Picking 'em
wrecking
off.
fools, and
That
all
was
the,
awesome.
the military guys. They're like, holy,
Just stop and watch.
whoa, dude, that was awesome. Again, Will
Killed it.
Will absolutely nailed it. So I hated the enemies because it was just they're just
The-
there. They were the definition. They were bullet sponges. If we're going to relate it to video games,
Right.
They were bullet sponges. They were just there to be there. It's weird that they went from, they wanted to keep Superman grounded when they made Man of Steel, and I know that's two different directors, but this is the same cinematic universe.
Yep.
So Man of Steel, very grounded. What would we do if an alien came here that looked like us and all this other stuff? Then we see the after effects of that in Batman versus Superman, and how Bruce reacts and the rest of the world starts to doubt him and all this other stuff. And now there's just magic everywhere, which is cool. There's a lot of magic in DC Comics and stuff. I'm just saying it's quite the leap, especially when the last 3 DC movies we got before this were the Nolan trilogy, which was complete realism. It could happen today. I mean, in theory. I still don't know why did Batman make that damn bat signal out of fire when he should just be saving the folks in Dark Knight Rises?
He had time to kill.
What did you think about the overall story, the bad guys, the villain being Enchantress and her brother? That dude looked cool as hell, but he was just...
Right.
And then a bomb just blows him up. How does a bomb...
Right. Yeah. I don't.
And then, that was the other thing that pissed me off. How the hell did they know... First off, why was Rick Flag carrying around a bag full of dynamite or whatever?
I was
that
wondering
was?
where that came from.
It just showed up, just like Amanda Waller somehow just showed up in Midway, and so they just had to have her in Midway so they could have, 30 minutes of the movie be about something. But he's just randomly got a bag full of explosives, and I'm gonna throw it into this magic machine.
I'm gonna shoot it, and then the magic.
Will's
will
gonna
go
shoot
away.
it, and it'll go away. Boom. That annoyed me, but it is what it is.
Okay, so it had some holes. I thought Enchantress was fine. Her brother was just a big dude. He did look cool, but whatever. I don't understand this whole... She's got magic, like Dad was saying after. She's got magic.
Yep.
But then, you know what? I'm just going to fight with a sword at the end. Okay, whatever. It makes for a good scene.
You have to have
Whatever.
an action. It is still a movie, right? You still got to have an action scene and all that. But it was...
What was the whole... She's got all this magic, and then she spends all this time making a machine, which is just a bunch of like debris,
A bunch of
it's just
wrecked cars
cars and
and
stuff
stuff.
flying around in the air. Like, is that magnifying her powers somehow to let her? just
Maybe they
go-
were a bunch of Teslas. Maybe that's why.
maybe.
Stumped him.
I'm not saying this movie is without its plot holes. I just really liked it. It was a lot of fun. Soundtrack was awesome.
Yeah,
There's not a single song in that movie that I wasn't like, oh yeah.
I heard some people didn't like it because they said it was they liked the songs, but
Just
they're
didn't
like
think it fit.
They didn't think it fit to just do a greatest hits in Suicide
I thought
Squad.
it almost reminded me.
But it went
Well,
along with the trailers, like
right. It
the
was
Blitz
not. It was
trailer
meant to
and,
be
and Queen.
fun.
And all, like, I thought it was fine. I didn't like. Some people said it was jarring. I'm like, no, I thought it was awesome. I'm tapping my foot and everything. I liked it, and every song they chose, fit with the scene it was in. I thought.
Right.
So continue. Story, bad guys.
I thought the story was fine. I mean, it didn't matter. In the end, it didn't really matter who the bad guys were. It was never really about that, I feel like. It was about, I mean, the good guys who are the bad guys, whatever. It's about them. The bad guy, I don't know. You can't have a movie without an antagonist.
You're nailing it. Yeah.
It didn't really, it's like, well, we got to have somebody. I mean, I know we're not here to talk about Marvel, but Civil War. It's really about all these main characters and their relationship. And
Baron
okay,
Zemo's just
he's
pull
in the
some
back.
strings,
So you got to have an antagonist.
Yep.
I feel like that's all that really was, and I was fine with it. I mean,
I think it was
worked.
more. It didn't matter who the bad guy was, like you were saying. We wanted to see the new Joker. We want to see Harley on screen for the first time. Will Smith is a big name. And my God,
Batman was awesome. The little bit of time you see him, he was awesome.
I will say this because I was worried going into this that all we would see was what was in the trailers, and that was 75% of
Batman.
It. Yeah,
I mean, you didn't even see his fit in the trailers. You couldn't even tell that was Batfleck.
That's what I was going to say. In the trailers, I thought for sure we were going to watch this movie and it was going to be nothing but his stunt man. That Affleck wasn't
just
actually
silhouettes, and that's kind of what I thought too.
He was definitely.
So I was happy to see
he
him.
was in the bat suit, and he was obviously in the mid credit scene. That was cool. So again, they're doing more world building. Flash. That was
unexpected.
Random. That was
awesome.
That was one of the reshoots.
Oh, really?
To get him in there, but I'm like, I don't have a problem with that. It was cool. I knew he was in the movie, but I didn't know when
I didn't
to.
know that.
Well, I didn't want to spoil it for you, but I knew he had a cameo.
Thank you.
Yeah. Batman was great. I love that he saved Harley, and I love that he wasn't just like, oh my God, I got to save her when he's underwater. He's looking. He's like, okay, I know Harley Quinn. Let's see what's gonna happen. Then she tries to stab me just with a flashlight right in the face. It was great. I did love the Harley scene. I mean, and we had seen it in the trailers. They did kind of give. I wish there was more Joker in this movie. I wish there was a lot more Joker. We saw every scene that he was in this movie except when he broke her out. We saw at least a part of that in trailers.
I feel like
I
now
hate movie
more
trailers.
than ever.
I hate movie trailers. I love them, but I hate them.
Maybe
it's the same thing with video game trailers too.
You may know something I don't know, but either to contradict me or to back me up. But I feel like now more than ever, after watching this movie, we're gonna get a Batman. We're gonna have Joker in the solo Batman movie. It has to happen. I feel like they went through all this buildup of Jared Leto. I don't think we're going to get a Suicide Squad 2. I mean, maybe we will. I don't know.
There's talk. There's
all this buildup of Jared Leto as the Joker just to give him
this was really
15 minutes of screen time.
This was the introduction to him. I read that somewhere.
He's got to be in the Batman movie. And that I'm looking forward to that.
So the rumor for Batman is, like I was saying earlier, it'll be set in Arkham Asylum. Not that it would necessarily follow the plot of the game, but if it did, I'd be 100% down with that. That would be awesome. Oh, and that was the other thing. I love that they gave the little nod. They did the flashback of Harley in the suit.
old school.
Holy crap! With
the
Joker
outfit.
in the
that was perfect.
And I forget what comic that's from, but there's an iconic shot of him with Harley's like this, and he's holding her. Those exact same
shot for shot.
Exact. That was awesome. And then when she's going through her stuff and deciding what outfit to wear and stuff, and you see the Jester suit in there and stuff, I was like, that's cool. I like that Harley better.
Yeah.
Not that Harley, but you know what I mean.
That outfit.
Um,
So
that version better.
this will be, I mean, I think we got to see, you saw it a little bit at Comic-Con, but Halloween this year and probably years to come, Harley is going to be the it costume. Just like it was Heath Ledger's Joker 8 years ago. Every guy was the Joker for Halloween that year, and you still see him now. Harley Quinn. Be ready to see a lot of Harley Quinns walking around on October 31st, which is the day after my birthday.
I thought you were about to forget what day your birthday was, which was going to be hilarious. Yeah, the funny thing, John Campea, who used to work for AMC Movie Talk, and then they moved over to Collider Movie Talk, another great channel on YouTube you should check out. You should also subscribe to ours. Hit the button.
You should. It's right down there.
He did his Suicide Squad review dressed up like Harley Quinn, and it was the scariest thing I've ever seen. It was funny as hell, but my God, was it scary. Let's see what else. What other notes do I got here? It didn't have the Martha moment. That is one thing I will say. There was no Martha in this.
There was no like.
There was
give me
no
a
just.
break.
You just like the movie just grinds to a halt, and you just want it to stop. Again, I definitely like Batman versus Superman better than this. The Ultimate Edition, I liked it better than this because that movie actually made sense. But it's also like it's almost really a different.
That movie was more. It's a
different
story.
movie, and that
this
movie,
was just a fun cinematic experience. Batman vs Superman was the better story and all that, but this was just fun.
And I'm not really a film critic or anything, but I did notice one thing. I noticed towards the beginning of the movie there was a lot of shaky cam, like when Waller was talking and stuff. And maybe I just realized what scenes were maybe reshoots or something other than the hair. The hair has to be from the reshoots. It has to be. And how do you let that get through editing?
Yeah.
CGI that dude some long hair when he's got, or put a hat on him or something. I don't know.
Right.
It went shaky cam a lot in the beginning, and then there was no shaky cam the rest of the movie.
I didn't even notice.
I know, that was weird. I don't know. What else? What other notes did you have that you
So my last note,
Okay.
again, I know this isn't about Marvel, but DC has proven with this movie, I mean, everybody already knew this, but their villains are just so much better. There has not been a standout, other than maybe Loki, there has not been a standout villain in a Marvel movie.
And it's not even Loki, it's Tom Hiddleston as Loki. Yeah.
That's true, yeah. Loki, I mean, I didn't care about Thor before. I still don't really care about him, so I didn't know the first thing about Loki.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. It's Tom Hiddleston. This, I mean, I think DC has the more iconic good guys. I mean, Batman and Superman, you win.
And Wonder Woman, you might say they've got the top three. They definitely have the top two. You could argue
but they definitely have the
top
better
three
villains.
Without a doubt. The
But
only one that
Marvel-
comes close is Magneto, and he's not your typical villain. He's not in the Marvel. He's
not in
Fox,
the
but,
MCU.
I mean, it's a Marvel character. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean. He's not like other villains though, because he really thinks he's doing the right thing for his people and all that. But sorry, continue.
But yeah, Marvel's definitely more stacked with good guys. They don't have the best ones, but they have more good ones. And
Just the good ones.
I think just the good ones. I don't think we're gonna, like I said, like you said, maybe we'll see a Suicide Squad 2. It's not like Suicide Squad will become a series. We may not see more than one more Suicide Squad movie. I think we will continue, depending on how deep they get into the DC movie universe. I think we'll see some of them again. Maybe not Croc, maybe not Diablo.
We'll see Joker.
We'll see
Harley.
Margaret. Yeah, we'll
movie.
see Harley, Joker, Deadshot for sure.
It
may just be those three, but those were the best three.
Yeah, I'd like to see Deadshot carry on, and obviously he's got some unfinished business with the Bat.
Right. So, and then the other thing, I feel like they nailed it with this movie. It was just a good, fun, not trying to do too much movie compared to, I mean, Man of Steel was good. Here's Superman origin story, whatever. Batman versus Superman, again, the Ultimate Edition, is that what it was called, was great. Much better than the theatrical. But
It
in
actually-
general, that
it actually
movie
made sense. Yeah.
I mean, still, it was a 3-hour movie, and I feel like they
And they were
tried to
trying
do
to
too
do-
much.
they had to,
went. I
right.
mean, Marvel has been building their universe, their cinematic universe, since what, 2002?
No.
When did
2008.
Iron Man come out?
2008. We talked about that in Batman Super. I thought it was
Oh.
like 2005. It was 2008. But still, so from there until 2012.
Really?
So
I thought it was longer. Yeah, maybe not 02, but
so
yeah, I
they
would have
tried
thought
to
05
do
or so.
They tried to do in 2 movies what Marvel did in
In
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
10,
movies,
I mean,
something
yeah.
like that.
Over
Before they actually
many
got to the
years.
Avengers. Yeah.
right, so I feel like DC just tried too hard to just
Yep.
to play catch up, and I don't know, but I think they got this one right. I would see it again. I don't know if I will see it again in theaters, but if somebody says, "Hey, do you want to go see Suicide Squad again?" I'm in. I'd go again for sure.
Mom,
The
invitation's out there.
let's go.
Final thoughts. Let's do final rating. I know we're not going to agree on this. I feel like I've been sounding very down on the movie, but I guess that's what I said at the beginning. I loved the characters. The casting in this movie was great. The actors were great. They all did a great job. But I just felt like the movie as a whole, it was like you said, it was really just it was just a showcase for these characters to say you wanted to see them. Here they are.
Yep.
You'll see them again. Let's go do Wonder Woman.
Right.
I'd probably say 7 out of 10.
See, I think, to me, the only big knock on it is, like you said, there wasn't a great story. The characters were great. It was a fun movie. The action was good. Not much of a story, but I don't think it really suffered for that.
Remind me to ask one more question about Rick Flag after you're done.
But yeah, I give it 8.5 out of 10. Oh, and as I was looking up to see if Jay Hernandez was the guy I thought he was, IMDb.
Who's DB? You are?
I am.
D-bag.
It's at 7.5 out of 10. That's much more.
Oh.
That to me makes sense. Not 38
See,
or
now
whatever it
that's-
is on.
That's what
Rotten
I want to
Tomatoes.
see. Like, I want to check Monday. I want to compare the rotten
critics to the-
rotten critics
Yeah.
versus the fan score. I bet this is in the 70 to 80 range for fans. I would bet. One question I had. Okay. And again, there was part of this movie that were so confusing to me. Maybe it's because of the lack of plot or whatever. But why was Deadshot so pissed at Rick Flag that he and old girl were hooking up? Like, they're going to stop this thing anyways, and then he sees the notebook, and
I
he's
think
like,
because
no, I'm mad, and I
because
quit.
they
I'm gonna go
lied to
drink."
him. They lied to all of them and said, "Hey, this is a terrorist threat. Let's go get him."
But they were
whatever.
way past that at that point.
Right, but then they found out he knew all along, and we're like, "Oh, we're just going in here because that's your girl. You want to save your girl."
Well,
That's
but-
how I took it.
But they weren't, because they were going in there because Amanda Waller was going to blow their heads off if they didn't, and they did have to stop this thing or the world was going to end.
Right.
So I was like, does it really matter? And then at the end, he basically killed her. So it's like, you got all pissed for nothing, Will. And then, of course, she came back.
And
I
then
knew that would happen. But,
Well, yeah.
and that was cold to keep those the letters from Will's daughter, from Deadshot's daughter, from him. That was cold. That ain't cool.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
No, that's not cool.
Like Will said, "No, man, I ain't a hugger. No, I don't hug." So overall, we both liked the movie. You liked it a little bit more than I did. It's definitely, don't listen to the critics. Support this movie.
Yes, go
support
see
the
it.
DC extended universe.
Although if you're still watching right now, you must have seen it because we told you to stop if you hadn't.
also
So,
true, but tell your
good job
friends.
for watching.
Yeah, tell your friends to go see it. I guarantee. Well, I don't guarantee. I guarantee
I guarantee.
that the user score on Rotten Tomatoes will be, what is it at now? It's at a 28 or a 29. At least 45 points higher than the critic score. So 74, 75, yeah.
I'd say probably, 40 to
math-
50.
was
It'll be
Math right? There was my math. Yeah, 40. Carry the
40.
one. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have a kiss. Anything else?
I hit all my notes.
Main two. That's it, everybody. Thanks for being here for a quick hits edition of your favorite two-player co-op hosts. What did you guys think about Suicide Squad? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are you excited about Wonder Woman? They did the Wonder Woman trailer. It was a shorter version, but it's still cool to see her kicking it. That movie looks really good. That movie looks really good. Don't do any reshoots, WB. Let them make the movie that they've made. Do it. Let us know what you thought about Suicide Squad. You can comment down here. You can tweet at us on Twitter. I'm at, what am I? At Kevin White 24. He's at Real Sean White. Together we are at 2player_co-op. And yes, this has been a quick hit edition of the 2-player co-op, whatever we call it.
Yeah, 2-player co-op, quick hits.
Quick hits. : Thanks, everybody. Until next time, have a good night.
Thank you for playing the video.